I've had my gaming room for 3 years now, and realistically, I should have showed you this version of the room a long time ago. So here we are, finally getting a full tour of the gaming room. Now, I've done room tour videos before, but this room's changed a lot since I did my last one. Like, I've built a wall to separate the garage from the gaming room, I've painted the room, and I've done some serious tech upgrades. But you'll see all that in this video right here. Anyway, so let's get into my 2025 Funhouse gaming room tour video. I hope you enjoy it.
I be playing games in the Funhouse, cut big names in the Funhouse. I be in my lane in the Funhouse, fully entertained in the Funhouse. Funhouse, 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 Funhouse.
Now, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about everything I use and have in my gaming room, but if you see anything that I don't talk about that you'd like to know more about, then hit me up in the comments and let me know. So first, let's start with the PC setup area where I spend most of my day. Now, I spend a lot of hours in this part of the room filming, editing, and sometimes PC gaming. So I've made sure that it's as comfortable as it can be, or shall I say, as I can afford right now. Now, my desk is a standard IKEA Lag Captain worktop with Alex drawers on the right side that I store things like my camera accessories, tools, and hold a bunch of junk in. And to the left side of the worktop, I got 2 IKEA Kallax units, one that I do all of my unboxings on, and the other that I display some of my anime statues and other collectibles in. Now, the line inside the cabinet is from Tapo, and I've had these for about 2 years, and they've never let me down, which is actually really good for LED strips that cost as cheap as they actually do. Now, on top of the worktop, I got my PC, monitors, and other peripherals that I'll get into in a bit. Now, since my last gaming room tour, I've given my PC a big upgrade for performance and aesthetics, and this really made a huge difference to how it used to be. So now this PC's got an Intel i9-13900K CPU, Gigabyte RTX 3060 GPU, 32 gigs of Kingston Fury 6000 MHz DDR5 RAM, 2 TB of M.2 SSD internal storage from WD Black, and an extra 8 TB of SSD external storage from the SanDisk 8 TB desk drive, a Gigabyte Aorus Waterforce 240 CPU cooler, Z790 motherboard, a 750 watt power supply, and that's all cased in a Corsair 4000X case. Now, this was originally a pre-built case, but realizing I needed more performance power, I decided to get my hands dirty and upgrade it myself. I'm actually looking to change the case, AIO, and GPU soon, but that's another discussion for the future. Now, for monitors, I got 2 of them, one in horizontal and the other stacked beside it as a vertical monitor. Now, my main monitors, the MSI Artemis MPG273 CQRX QD, which is a 27-inch 240Hz 2K curved monitor, which I do all my editing on and game from time to time, and it's perfect to fit whatever I need to do on it. My secondary monitor is not as sick. It's the Acer KA222QB, which is a 22-inch 75Hz 1080p monitor, which I use to watch shows whilst I'm working or display extra info that I need on it when I'm in video call meetings. Now, I am planning on getting a widescreen monitor and stacking the 27-inch that I currently got on top of it in the future, but I haven't decided which monitor I'm gonna get yet. Mounted on top of the main monitor is the BenQ Screenbar Halo with the remote control, which is on my desk pad, and because I haven't got much light in this room, this light's perfect for when I'm working at night time with all the other lights off. And on top of the screen bar, I use the Cam Pro 4K webcam from Streamplify, and I use that mostly for video call meetings. For audio, I've got the Edifier MR4 speakers in white, which are perfect for playing audio and music from my PC, and for recording, I use the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which is mounted onto the Elgato Wave Arm LP that lets me extend and hide my mic behind the monitors, whilst also hiding the cables, keeping the desk a little bit tidier. Behind the Wave Arm, I've got the Elgato key light, which I use for recording short and long form videos. Attached to the key light, I've got the Elgato Solid Arm mount, which I use to mount my Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III camera on, and this is the camera that I use to record all my videos with, but I'm hoping to grab the Sony a6700 camera sometime this year. Also, on my desk, I got the Elgato Stream Deck, which I use a lot less since I stopped streaming, but I still use it to control the key lights. I've also got the Streamplify Hub Control 7 USB hub that I've got another Western Digital external hard drive and a couple other things plugged into. Also, beside that, I've got my Deco X20 AX1800 mesh node, which allows me to get internet in here and also pumps a Wi-Fi signal around the room. Now, for my keyboard, I use the MSI Vigor GK50 low profile keyboard, and for my mouse I use the MSI Clutch GM51 lightweight wireless mouse, which both of them sit on my Gear 5 Luffy desk pad from ID Gaming. Now the chair that I use is the Thunder X3 XTC mesh black gaming chair, which is an ergonomic gaming chair with mesh fabric, and it's perfect for sitting on for hours at a time whilst I'm using my PC. Now above the monitors I got Nanoleaf's triangle shapes RGB light panels that light up this whole area without me having to turn the ceiling lights on, and I chose to design them in the shape of an owl with shuriken shaped eyes, which I named the shuriken owl for obvious reasons. And to the left of that I got some artwork of myself, My Hero Academia villains artwork from Gallery Panda, and a 1 of 10 Spider-Man and Wolverine piece that was signed by the legend Stan Lee himself before he passed away. To the right of the desk I got a glass display cabinet with LEDs to light up, which I store my anime resin statues in, and on top of that I got the majority of my Funko Pop statue collection and my Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion collectible piece. I'm planning on getting some other shelves and putting them on top of that soon in the future, but for now I'm alright with them here. Above the door, which is right next to my PC setup, I got some cool Marvel WoW pods with some of my favourite Marvel characters, and beside that I got some anime artwork which I got from the Manga Market website, and an IKEA pegboard which I use to store pens and display my keyring collection on. Now moving away from the PC setup area, I got the console area where I relax, watch TV and play video games on my consoles. Now for this area I use an IKEA 8 squared Kallax to display all my consoles and collectibles inside and on top of it. So inside it I've got my Red X helmet from Teen Titans, my One Piece statues, and I keep my MSI Claw and PlayStation Portal gaming handheld devices and charging docks for both of them inside of it as well. I am looking to get another pegboard and display all my handhelds on there, but for now I'll just keep them inside the unit. I also saw my MSI Radar GE78 HX13V laptop in there when I'm not using it, and that's got a 17-inch QHD plus 240Hz IPS display, and it runs on an Intel i9 13980HX CPU, Nvidia RTX 4080 GPU, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, and 2TB of SSD storage. Now I use this for editing and gaming when I'm away, and I let my kids use it for PC gaming on as well. And lastly, I store my gaming handheld cases and anime Blu-rays in this unit as well. I've also got some Kallax display windows that I got from Wicked Brick because I got a young daughter who loves to grab my stuff, so that helps to keep them protected, but they also give the unit a really cool display cabinet look to it as well. Oh, and in the back of the unit I got Nanoleaf's LED strips that glow and match the colours shown on the TV. Now displayed on top of the unit I got my Nintendo Switch dock, which is also docked into an RGB display stand from my sponsors at Venom, my Logitech G Cloud handheld gaming device, docking stations for my Switch, Xbox and PS5 controllers which are also from Venom, my PS5 Slim console which is docked on Venom's horizontal RGB display stand, and a Sonos Beam Gen 2 soundbar which I use for audio on my TV, playing music, and it's got an inbuilt Alexa voice assistant which I use to control most of the smart devices in the room. Mounted on top of the wall I got my TV, which is a Samsung QE55Q60C, which is a 55-inch QLED 4K HDR smart TV, and I use this to watch movies, anime and game on my consoles on. Now you might have noticed that I've got Xbox controllers but no Xbox console, and that's because my smart TV has the Xbox Cloud Gaming app built onto it, so I'm able to cloud stream bare Xbox Game Pass titles, and the games that I can't cloud stream I just play on my PC, laptop or PC handheld device. Now around and above the TV I got some more Nanoleaf products like the mini triangles on the wall and lines on the wall and the ceiling, and stuck to the back of the TV I got another Nanoleaf LED strip which also glows to match the colour shown on the TV, thanks to the Nanoleaf 4D camera kit that I've got mounted on top of the TV and the control which is on top of the Sonos soundbar. To the right of the triangles I got my PlayStation Pulse Elite headphones which I use when I'm gaming, and they sit on the Pulse Elite charging hanger to keep them charging when I'm not using them. And on the pillar next to it I got my resin Obito mask from Naruto, which is one of my favourite collectibles in the room. Underneath that I got a life-size plushie of Grand Zeno from Dragon Ball Super, and I leave him sat on my Noble Chair's footstool. And on the left side of the TV I got more anime artwork from the Manga Market website. Now on the floor in front of the unit I've got a custom made rug that lies on top of an IKEA rug, which is actually one of the emotes I used to use when I was streaming on Twitch. And right behind that I got a super comfortable sofa which I got from Sofology, and even though it's super comfortable I am looking to change it this year for a much cooler and comfortable sofa that reclines. On the left of the sofa I got my sweets dispenser which lets me store 81 tubs of sweets, and it takes pound coins, so I limit myself to spending a maximum of £3 a week, which makes the sweets last 6 months if I'm the only person eating them. And above that I got my super sick Dragon Ball Z Shenron statue piece, which is again again, one of my favorite collectibles in my gaming room. On the right of the sofa, I got a glass cabinet from IKEA where I store collectibles, but I'm thinking of getting rid of that soon and getting another shelf to display them on, because you can't really appreciate them hidden behind the sofa. And at the bottom of that, I got an Echo Dot 4th gen speaker, which I use to communicate to my family inside the house because my son Aspar's Alexa doesn't do that. Mounted on the ceiling above the cabinet, I got the Tapo C225 indoor pan and tilt security camera, which I've had for quite a while now, and for a camera that only costs £44, it does a really great job with a whole lot of great features on it. Now, on the newly built back wall that wasn't there in my last gaming room tour, I got 3 IKEA shelves that I display some more of my collectibles on, and I got some more sick artwork from Gallery Panda, which are displayed on each side of the shelves. And lastly, I used the Dyson Purifier Hot and Cool HP09 formaldehyde fan heater to warm the room in the winter and keep it cool in the summers. So that's the full gaming room tour over, and as you can see, I've added a lot of great things since the last one. And if I'm honest, it's actually amazing to me how many sick things I've been able to add to my gaming room in the last 3 years. Now, this isn't going to be the room's final form because I'm planning to do a lot of changes this year as well. Like, I'm planning on changing the worktops in the PC setup area, adding some wall panels to the room, changing my nanoleaf light displays, and a few other things. But when I do the changes, I'll make sure I do a full gaming room tour all over again so you lot can see exactly what's changed, exactly what's been added, and exactly what's been taken away. Let me know what you think of the room in the comments, and if there's anything that I spoke about that you'd like to know more about, then hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you. Oh, and if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up to let me know. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then please hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell for updates on future uploads. And I'm going to be dropping a lot more long form videos, and I drop short form videos every week anyway. Anyways, thank you for watching my 2025 Funhouse Gaming Room Tour video. I appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you soon.